Hey guys, good morning. I am super happy to see my Pilates peeps. Really happy to see you guys actually. My name is Elizabeth. I'm your instructor. You're in a Pilates inspired fitness class. And for props today, we're going to use just a little dish towel and dumbbells. So let's go ahead and grab those props. By the way, if you do not have dumbbells, you can use cans of food or you can use little water bottles or anything else is fine. But we'll get started today holding on to the dish towel. All right. And then guys, let's take this dish towel and begin to just twirl it in front of you. Doesn't matter which arm, keeping the elbow in. Yeah, so we're keeping that elbow in. And if you take your other fingertips and place them on your arm, you can feel some pretty neat muscles working in there. All right. So just super simple. You guys are really cute. For 3 and 2, and then pause and begin to twirl that in the other direction. And breathe, keeping that elbow in. For 2 and 1, and pause. Let's bring it over to the other hand, keeping that elbow in. Twirl it in one direction. Looking good. And then pause and let's twirl in the other direction. And again, you can place that other hand onto that arm and feel those muscles working. For 2 and 1. Okay, next we'll reach this towel straight out in front of us, and let's position it so our grasp is such that the hands are about directly in front of the shoulders, and then energetically pull that towel apart. And then one knee in tabletop, reach those arms overhead, and then reach that towel straight in front of the shoulders and switch and continue. Woo! All right, guys, this simple move will begin to warm up your body. And I'd like to take this opportunity to request of you, as always, to keep your workout with me today pain-free. That is, comfortably uncomfortable is okay, but pain is not. If ever you're feeling stabbing pain, shooting pain, joint pain, structural pain, anything like that, please just stop what you're doing so you're no longer feeling those sensations. So any modification at any time is okay in my class. For 3 and 2. And the next time we have that left knee in tabletop, let's pause. All right, energetically pulling that towel apart, drop those shoulders. Good. And then let's lean to one side, up to center, over to the other side, up to center, and continue. Taking a balance challenge, walk, and breathe for 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. Whoa. And we'll reach that towel straight out in front of us, keeping that knee directly out in front of the hip. And then let's twist to one side and center, and twist to the other side and center. Continue alternating. By the way, if that gaze travels over the towel, it would be more challenging than if you keep that gaze straight forward. For 2, and 1, come to center. Keep that knee in tabletop, arms overhead, kick that leg long and bend, and do it again and continue. I know that thigh is getting tired. That is on purpose. Are you still energetically pulling that towel apart? If not, recommit to that. For 3 and 2 and 1, and come to center. Nice job. Notice how one leg feels different than the other. I know, get those wiggles out. All right, we'll do that little sequence on the other side. So we'll bring the right knee into tabletop. Reach those arms forward, hands directly in front of the shoulders, energetically pulling that towel apart, reaching those arms overhead, reaching straight in front. And the next time those arms are overhead, pause and lean to one side, up to center, lean to the other side, up to center. Continue trying to keep your head in the center of those arms, and then notice if those ears are getting cozy with the shoulders. Yep, noticing mine are. And if you are noticing that as well, try to drop them. For 2 and 1, come to center, reach straight out in front of you, keeping that knee directly in front of the hip. Let's begin to twist to one side and center, and the other side and center. Continue breathing. Balance challenge for 2 and 1, come to center, and then kick that leg long and do it again and continue. Looking so good. Who knew you could have so much fun with a dish towel? Breathing, balance challenge for 2 and 1. Come to center. Nice job. All right, guys, let's take a move I call Lady in a Park. Just swing those arms from side to side and notice how this feels in your body. We will revisit this move a few times for 2 and 1 and come to center. Take a step apart with those feet. Let's externally rotate those toes. And then holding that towel straight out in front. Again, navel is tucked to the spine. We'll lower as we bend those knees and stand tall and do it again. And continue. So as we're bending those knees, guys, think about bringing that booty back in space. What I'm really after is keeping these knees behind those toes. So we want to do that to protect the integrity of the knees. And breathe. Looking good. If you're not already, begin to energetically pull that towel apart. For 3 and 2. And the next time you're down, stay down. All right, then let's lift those heels and lower and lift and lower and continue. And then reach those arms forward and lower and do it again. I just realized my picture looks really, really funny. I've got a tie sweater on, so that's what's going on here. Let me just tuck that underneath and breathe. That reminds me, one time I was in San Clemente. In fact, Lisa, you might have been in that class. It was Halloween. And I was teaching and I was demonstrating a move on the reformer where you slide the carriage out. You guys continue and slide it back. And my costume had a tail on. So as I slid out, I had like this huge, I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And then, yeah, anyways, good times. And breathe for 3 and 2. It's almost Halloween again. And the next time those heels are lifted, keep them lifted. All right, keeping those heels lifted, let's take that towel into the right hand, elbow tucked into the waist, and twirl. Yep. Breathing. Can you lift those heels higher? Thinking drag queen stilettos. Looking so good for 4 and 3 and 2. Pause and then twirl that towel in the other direction. This time we'll lift and lower and breathe. You know, I bet there's not a lot of people in the world who have done this move with a dish towel, just saying. For 3 and 2 and 1, find stillness. Let's take that towel over to the other side. Recommit to those super high heels. Elbow tucked into the waist and twirl. Can you lift those heels higher? Can you bend those knees more? Woo, looking good. For 3 and 2, and then pause, and then this time we'll add in a little, whoa, feeling this so much, guys, and breathe. Woo, for 3 and 2 and 1, and come to center. Oh my gosh, let's bring those feet back together. Yeah, notice how that feels. That feels fabulous, right? Yeah, I think so too. This time we'll take that towel behind us, palms facing up. And then we'll use this towel as leverage to gently pull our hands apart and then roll those shoulders back. So I'm interested in using this towel as something to hold on to really help facilitate that shoulder opening. Yep. And then let's begin to lift those arms back in space in a manner that feels comfortable. And then we'll take that left leg and kick it back. All right, guys, adding on, if it's good for you, maybe lean forward and kicking the wall behind me. I could not have told you that and kept it there and cheated on my balance, but I'm an honest girl. All right, guys, so let's lift and lift. Woo, and breathe. You guys look awesome. Slow-mo. All right, you guys are doing it better than your Pilates instructor. and breathe. Oh man, I'm having a hard time with my balance. For 3, woo, and 2, and 1. Let's lift those arms super high, and then come and tap, and lower, and tap, and lower, and continue. Yeah, looking so good. By the way, we're strengthening the back here, and we're stretching the front. Both of those lend to better posture. Woo, for 2, and 1, and come to center. Oh, I mean, who knew that? Yeah, I'm feeling it too. Going for that really nice muscular definition in the triceps. Okay, back, palms up, squeeze those shoulders back, and then this time we'll take the other leg, kick it back. Lifting those arms behind. Let's lean forward again. Those rear toes are down. Yeah, and lift, woo, and continue. Breathing. So I did that photo shoot for that Pilates studio yesterday, and I was on the Cadillac hanging upside down. So I am really feeling this quite a bit. I was already sore. So loving that, feeling the soreness. Okay, for 3 and 2, woo, and then lift, and then we'll tap. By the way, we're still really pulling those shoulders back and lower, and tap, and do it again. Wow, Bev, I can see those arm muscles. You've got some crazy, awesome definition going on there. Looking really good. Loving it. Woo, for 3 and 2. Woo, and give me 1 more. And come to center. Ah, man, holy cow, I know. I'm feeling it too. Okay, next, guys. We're going to pivot those palms so they're facing up, and then we'll pull this apart and at about shoulder width again. And then this time, pulling it apart energetically. And notice how you're feeling a really nice muscular contraction back there. Isometric contraction, by the way. We'll reach those arms forward, kick 1 foot back, come to center, and switch, and continue. And breathe. Gently pulling the towel apart, feeling a lot of muscles working to maintain this. Looking so good. For 3 and 2. And then next time you have your left leg back, pause. All right, guys, keeping that left leg back, keeping that knee super far away from you. Let's bend and straighten, like you're trying to kick your tush. So that's different than bringing the knee in. So we're keeping that knee back. And then as we bend, let's pull the elbows in and do it again. And continue. Woo! Man, really feeling this a lot today. I'm not sure if it's because I'm sore from yesterday, or are you guys feeling this a lot? Yeah, okay. All right, breathing. Still pulling that towel apart. Woo! For 4 and 3. You guys look awesome. And 2 and 1, and come to center. Man, oh man, yeah. Shoulders up, back and down, up, back and down, up, back and down. Okay. Grasp about shoulder width apart, elbows back, and then this time we'll take that right leg, kick it back behind. Reach forward and pull, and then you guessed it. Let's begin to walk. Bring the heel to the tush and straighten, and do it again, and continue pulling that towel apart, and breathe. Woo! Balance challenge. Yep, looking fabulous. Still, it's interesting. We've got a lot of muscles going through a range of motion, particularly in the arms, but we've also got muscles active in a static hold in the arms. Well, the rest of the body as well. But focusing on the arms, really feeling interesting sensations. For 2 and 1, and come to center. Oh my, who needs dumbbells, right? All right, let's take that towel. One hand, doesn't matter which, twirl it in one direction, doesn't matter which, tuck that elbow into the waist. Bring that opposite knee into tabletop. And then as you're doing this, guys, see if you can recruit that lower abdominal area, almost as if that's the muscle working to hold your knee in tabletop. So see if you can find that. And then notice the direction of your twirling and pause and switch. What happens if you suck in your tummy a lot and squeeze your armpit closed? So notice how you can really feel different sensations by doing that. Totally flapping myself with this towel. For 2 and 1 and pause. All right, both everything relaxed. Okay, and notice if one side of your lower abdominal feels a little different than the other. If so, that's cool because that means you were successful at recruiting those lower abs to hold that knee up. All right, guys, let's switch hands and switch legs. So bringing the other knee into tabletop. Let's recruit those core muscles a lot. Tuck that elbow into the waist and twirl. Yep. So the core goes all the way around the spine, much like a corset, and you can use your muscles to cinch that corset tighter, if you will. So cinch that corset tight. Woo! And breathe, squeeze that armpit closed. Yeah, looking so good. Notice the direction of your twirling towel and pause and switch. And breathe. Woo! Can you feel those lower abs fired up? In fact, you can even press into them with your opposite fingertip. For 3 and 2 and 1 and come to center. Nice job, guys. Next, let's take the towel into the right arm. Reach that right arm up to the ceiling. Drop that towel down your back and then grab onto it with your opposite hands. And just come into a terrific shoulder and arm stretch. And breathe. We'll bring those feet together, softness in the knees, and then twist to the right and center and left and center. Continue trying to keep those hips forward. My range of motion for these types of moves is really tiny. Yours might be quite a bit greater, and if it is, and that feels good, just enjoy. For 2 and 1 and release. And then, guys, just gently release the grasp with that bottom hand. And we'll swing the towel over to the other side, up and over, and then, where is it? Grab it with your other hand. Wow, I'm so much more flexible on the other side than this side. Always interesting to note. And then just give yourself that gentle stretch, softness in the knees, hips forward, and begin to twist to one side and center, and the other side and center, and continue. And breathe. Yeah, my range of motion for this particular stretch has always been really, really minimal, but it feels good to stretch it. For 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center, and then just gently release that bottom hand. All right, guys, and then from here, we'll take this towel and we'll reach it up overhead. Gently pull that towel apart. Good. And then just take a moment. Notice how your feet, let's bring the feet together and just take a moment and close your eyes. Arms overhead, eyes closed. Notice where those shoulders are and then lower them. Yeah. And then with those eyes closed, if it feels safe for you, begin to focus on the weight distribution on your feet. And then gently rock forwards, pressing more weight into your toes and then back. Certainly opening your eyes at any time for safety reasons. I don't want anyone to fall. And then let's evenly distribute the weight throughout the entire foot area on each foot. All right. And then maintain that navel tucked to the spine, squeeze those booty cheeks, drop those shoulders down, energetically pull that towel apart gently. So about a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. And then, guys, flat as a pancake. Let's lean to the right, up to center, lean to the left, up to center, and continue. And notice how your lower body feels with all that activation. Hollowing up that belly, navel is tucked to the spine, breathing. Really good. Just playing with that sense of proprioception for 2 and 1. Keep those eyes closed. And then let's place the left hand onto the hip, still keeping those eyes closed. And then towel in the right hand, tuck that elbow into the waist and begin to twirl. Yep, twirling the towel, eyes are closed, navel is tucked to the spine. Begin to think about grasping the ground with your toes. Almost like you're trying to, if you were standing on a blanket, and you're trying to scrunch that blanket towards the arches of your feet, and breathe for 3 and 2. Okay, maintain this position, but find stillness with the towel. In other words, stop twirling the towel. Shift your weight over to your right foot and maybe hover that left foot just above the mat. If those eyes are still closed and that's safe for you, let's maintain that. Otherwise, open those eyes at any time and then begin to twirl that towel. Woo! For 2 and 1 and come to center and open those eyes. Yeah, well done. Man, that's hard, right? So you can do that anytime. Like you can stand at your kitchen counter and hover those fingertips and close an eye and invite any movement in, to encourage that balance challenge. All right, and then let's put the towel over in the left hand and we'll begin to twirl. And then shift the weight over to that left foot, hover that right foot. So this time we're entering the exercise from a different avenue. And then maybe close one eye, maybe close the other eye. Taking that balance challenge and breathe. Keeping it safe, whatever that looks like for you. Whether you can pause for a millisecond when you blink or open those eyes at any time. You guys look really good. I just told on myself, my eyes are open. But you guys look fabulous for 3 and 2 and 1 and come to center. Okay, well done, guys. We're going to take this down to the mat. So keep your towel nearby and keep those dumbbells nearby. Okay, and we'll come all the way down into a seated position. Separate those legs a lot. Legs open, heels down, toes up, and then gently shift your weight forward. And then, guys, let's place those hands in front of you and walk those hands forward. So I'm modifying, I'm not doing this, but if it feels okay for you, you're walking those hands forward, bringing your chest down towards the mat. Just enjoying that forward fold stretch. If that feels good to you, and breathe. Yep, looking good for 3 and 2 and 1. Come back up to center. Nice job. And then, guys, I'm heavily modifying. In fact, I'm going to do a different leg position just so I can show you the upper arm position. All right, guys, and then let's open those arms to a T. You guys have your legs open wide like a V, T and V, and then twist to the left, and then reach those fingertips forward towards those left toes. Yeah, and just feel that really terrific stretch for 2 and 1, and come up, open those arms to a T, twist over towards the right knee, reach those arms forward. Yeah. And looking good, guys, and come up to center, open those arms to a T and shift and reach. Yeah, looking so good. So for most people, this stretch feels fabulous. And come up to center, and then open and twist back to the right, and then reach forward towards the right knee. Yeah, looking good for 2 and 1, and come back to center. Nice job. And then keep those legs open wide, and then again, walk those hands forward, reaching your torso down towards the mat, just feeling that really terrific stretch again, and breathe for 3 and 2 and 1, and come up to center. Okay, nice job, guys. Next, let's take those feet, knees bent, feet flat, and then let's pivot both. Actually, sorry, let me cue that a little differently. Take a step apart with those feet, and then we'll shift both knees over to the right, and then I want you to look towards the right. So we're shifting, so we're sort of in a side-seated stance, and our the shape of our lower legs are creating a right angle. Okay, perfect. And then in this position, guys, let's walk those hands forward, bringing the torso down towards the mat in front. Yep, and just feel that terrific stretch. And notice how you're feeling it a little bit more on the side. For 2 and 1, and come back to center. And then, guys, let's take those hands, reach them over to the right onto the mat, and then walk those hands forward, coming down to the elbows. And if that feels good and you want more, you can walk those hands farther out. Just feeling that terrific side body stretch. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then walk yourself back up to center. Good. Let's place the right hand onto the mat at your side. Take that left arm up and over, bending into that right elbow, feeling that really terrific side body stretch. For 2 and 1, maintain this position, guys, and then take an inhale. As you exhale, let's come up onto those knees. So we're lifting that booty in space, and we're in this side body stretch. And hold, just repositioning. And then, guys, maybe take that top leg and reach it long. And then if that feels good, create as much space and length as you can between those top fingertips and that rear foot, which, by the way, let's go ahead and flex it. Woo! And breathe for 4 and 3, 2, and then let's bring the knee to the elbow and kick it long. Knee to the elbow, kick it long, and continue. Woo! And breathe. Hollowing out that belly, navel is tucked to the spine. See if you can recruit those oblique muscles. By the way, we're trying to keep that top shoulder over the wrist. Woo! For 2. And the next time that leg is out long and that arm is out long, pause. Okay, guys, and then let's pivot both hands down. We still have that rear leg out behind. This time we'll reach the opposite arm long. So we got the left knee out and the right arm out. Sorry, left leg and right arm. And then we'll bring the knee to the elbow underneath us and kick it long. And do it again. Woo. And breathe. For 3 and 2 and 1. And let's place that hand down and that knee down. On the hands and knees, guys, let's drop that belly button down towards the mat. Shift that gaze slightly forward over those fingertips. And then draw the wrist area, palms towards the knees energetically. Woo! And breathe for 2 and 1. And then, guys, imagine that someone's pulling on your belt and your bra strap. Your gaze shifts down towards the knees. Feeling that roundness in your spine, like a scaredy cat, which is perfect for Halloween. And then, guys, let's lower that belly button down. Stick that booty out. Shift that gaze forward. And then we'll lift that back up towards the ceiling and continue going through these 2 moves, your own breath, your own pace. If you are watching me for guidance, my range of motion is pretty tiny for this type of exercise. So yours might be a lot greater. And if that feels good to you, just enjoy that. For 2 and 1 and pause. Then, guys, let's take that right leg, kick it out behind. Take that left arm, reach it forward. And hold and breathe. And then let's draw the knee to the elbow underneath your belly button. Kick it long and do it again. And continue. Woo! For 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Come back to an all fours position and then sort of shuffle yourself. So we're facing each other again. And then, guys, let's take that right leg, kick it out behind us again. And then we'll shift our weight over to the left hand and kick that right leg out to the right, reaching that right arm up to the ceiling. Good. And then we'll reach that right arm back towards the wall on the left side of the body. Feeling that terrific stretch. And then we'll bring the knee to the elbow, kick it along, do it again, kick it along and continue. Yeah, looking so good, guys. Hollowing out that belly. Woo! Breathing. Yeah, looking so good. For 4, and 3, and 2. And the next time everything is out long, pause. Let's take that top foot, put it down, press into that bottom arm, reach that top arm long, just feeling that terrific side body stretch. Woo, and breathe. Feels fabulous. For 2, I'm loving the views I can see on my camera. You guys look awesome. And 2, and 1, and then let's place that top hand down at the side. And then this is kind of a tricky transition, guys. We're going to bring that left knee forward, lower down, and then fold that right knee back behind. So we're back into that right angle with our shins. Good. And then let's take both hands over to the left. We'll walk them forward. Maybe come down to the elbows if that feels good. Maybe come down, straightening those arms, bringing your face down to the mat if that feels good. Woo! For 3, and 2, and 1. Gently walk yourself back up to center. Good. And then let's place those hands in front of us. Walk those hands forward. Walking those hands forward, coming down as far as feels good for you. And again, my range of motion is tiny, so yeah, I can tell your guys' motions are greater, so just enjoy that. For 2, and 1, and come to center. Good. And then let's place the right hand onto the right outside of the calf and lean in the opposite direction. For 3, and 2, and 1, and come back to center. Okay, keeping this sort of a position in our lower body, guys, let's place our hands onto the mat, sort of in front of us, wherever feels comfortable for you. I'm just skipping forward a bit. And then let's take that back leg and kick it long out behind us. Okay, so I'll give you a different view of what we've got going on here. So we're taking that back leg out behind us and coming into sort of a modified pigeon type pose or any other stretch. Yeah, I'm seeing some modifications and I love that. So if this is hard on the knee, you're welcome to do any other stretch that feels nice for you, or you can come on to a figure 4 stretch lying on your back. Okay, so if this feels okay for you with that top knee down and the top of the foot down, go ahead and lower that booty down. If it feels good, you can take that top foot and bring it up so your leg is at a right angle. That actually does not feel great for my body. So I'm going to use, well, core form and move in a range of motion, which is better for my body. And breathe for 3, and 2, and 1. And then let's lower that booty down, come into a butterfly position. Good. And then with the hands behind us, resting comfortably, use that as leverage to draw those shoulders back. And let's flap those butterfly wings. Yeah, looking so good. Breathing. I'm trying to remember what we did earlier in class that really targeted the inner thighs. Brain fart, can't remember. But at any rate, I know that we targeted these guys quite a bit. So feeling, actually, did we? Okay, anyways, just enjoying the butterfly. Happy butterflies. Fluttering around in the fall. For 3, and 2, and 1, and come to center. Okay, and then we'll balance that pigeon-esque type of pose out on the other side. So this time we'll keep that right leg in front and we'll take that left leg back behind. Yeah, again, really loving the modifications. And then it's better for my body to have, again, quote, core form. Yeah, so just make this stretch meaningful for you, whatever that looks like. And then if you wish, you can walk those hands forward. There's a dog being affectionate with one of my students, and he is about as big as her screen. That's crazy. And breathe, just puppy kisses. Just enjoy this stretch. That is so sweet. And breathe for 3, and 2, and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, and then we'll pivot back into the butterfly. And again, just begin to flutter those butterfly wings and breathe. Yeah, looking so good. For 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, guys, next, let's take those feet. We'll place them out in front of us. Knees bent, feet flat, hands behind us. By the way, if your wrists are talking to you, you can come onto gorilla fists. So those wrists are straight instead of bent, and then shift those knees to one side, up to center, over to the other, and continue. Breathing. Yep, just enjoying this feel-good movement. That booty massage for 3, and 2, and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, next, let's bring the feet together, knees bent, feet flat, hands behind you. If your hands are flat, fingertips can point behind you, to the side, or forward, whatever feels best for you. Then take an inhale. As you exhale, let's hover those hips and continue. So coming into sort of a reverse plank tabletop type situation. And breathe. And then try to keep that head so it's somewhat in a neutral position. Another way to cue that is there are not wrinkles in the neck, either forward because you're looking at your knees, or back because you're, yeah. And then from here, guys, one knee into tabletop, lower, other knee into tabletop, lower, and continue breathing. I just remembered that inner thigh work we did. It was the plie squats while we were twirling the towels. I knew we targeted it somehow. I can't remember. Okay, anyways, woo! So you can do this entire sequence lying down if this is talking to your wrists too much, for 3, and 2, and 1, and lower that booty down. Nice job. Okay, guys, then remember those dumbbells that we set nearby? Let's go ahead and grab those dumbbells, and we'll come into a lying down position. All right, lying down. Let's see. Maybe I can do it like this. Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, lying down. Let's reach those arms into a goalpost position, lying flat, navel is tucked to the spine. And for our legs, guys, let's just have our legs long with our feet parallel. Take an inhale. Exhale, hover your right foot in space, reach those arms up to the ceiling, and lower that heel, lower the elbows, and switch. And switch, and continue. Okay, so this is a super simple move. I know you guys could do this all day long and not think much of it, but I want you to think about it quite a bit, actually, and see if you can make this much more challenging than it needs to be. So let's begin by recruiting those core muscles, cinching that corset again. And then, guys, for the arms, let's begin to almost touch the mat, but not quite. And then for those legs, let's begin to try to move the legs through space so our hips are not rocking from side to side. So you're going to gently lower each heel down, recruiting those core muscles to try to prevent the pelvis from rocking from side to side. And notice how much more challenging this exercise is. So I'm feeling this crazy a lot in the abdominal area, the oblique area. Yeah, maintaining that neutral spine with that core engaged. Woo, feeling this quite a bit in the thighs. Woo, yeah, and breathe for 3, and 2. And the next time you have your right leg lifted, keep it lifted. All right, so that right leg is just hovering, tiny range of motion. We'll lower as we lower the elbows and lift, lower and lift, and continue. So now we're just moving the right leg through space, hollowing out that belly, tightening that corset area all the way around your spine. In fact, see if you can even feel this above in the back of the waist area. You feel those muscles active, holding you stable for 3, woo, and 2. And the next time that heel is in the down position, let's bring it all the way in the down position. Cover that left leg. Arms only, straighten and bend, straighten and bend. Boy, I tell you, these 2-pound dumbbells are starting to feel really heavy. All right, guys. And then let's begin to lift and lower that left leg in conjunction with the arm movement. Breathing. Now, these 2-pound dumbbells feel heavy. I used to bench press like what? I don't know, 80 pounds? Can't remember, but a lot in the gym. And for this to feel heavy with 2 pounds, the reason it feels heavy, guys, is because I'm really focusing on my movement, really recruiting the muscles. I mean, we could do this without any dumbbells whatsoever. And with our mind-body connection, make this feel quite strenuous. This is the magic of Pilates. For 3, and 2, and 1, and lower everything down. Yeah, oh my gosh, so just 2-pound dumbbells, just lifting and lowering the feet, and that felt quite strenuous. Okay, let's just soften the knees and shimmy those knees from side to side, just taking that booty massage, feeling that twisty sensation in your midsection. Woo, for 2, and 1, come to center. All right, guys, reach those arms straight up to the ceiling. And this time, let's bend that. Actually, you know what? We'll do this a little differently. Keeping the head down, let's bend both knees, both feet flat, arms up to the ceiling. So we're keeping the head down for this sequence. Take an inhale as you exhale. Let's lift the hips, lower the dumbbells down by the head, and straighten the arms as we lower the booty, and continue. Yeah, so for this sequence, we're keeping the head down, trying to keep those elbows directly above the shoulders, giving a little squeeze as we lift those hips. Breathing. By the way, this is inherently a posture correcting exercise because we're pressing the hips forward. If we were standing, having a hard time using my words and saying this. So basically, the hips become more forward than the shoulders, which is the exact opposite of the shoulders hunching forward over the hips and the torso. So yeah, posture correcting. Okay, so are you feeling that back body area? Are you giving a little squeeze at the top? This should be starting to talk to you quite a bit. Woo! For 3, and 2. And the next time that booty is down, pause. All right, keep those arms up to the ceiling, palms facing each other. Next, we're going to come into a Pilates V. Heels are down. So guys, a Pilates V, if you're new to this, is where your feet look like a slice of pizza, heels are together and toes are apart. All right, guys, and then from here, knees are slightly separated. Just brushing the left heel along the ground, kick that leg long, open those arms out to the side, palms facing up, and then bring that heel back in, hug a tree, and switch, and continue. If you wish, you can add in a crunch with your head, neck, and torso as you reach those arms together. I am not going to do that, but you're welcome to if you wish. That will make this a little more challenging. By the way, you can also hold a static crunch if that's better for you. Okay, and then if you want more, guys, you can begin to kick both legs out at the same time, drag them in, heels just lightly touching the mat. I'm going to continue with the earlier version of kicking one leg out at a time. And then finally, if you want more, you can begin to hover those feet just a few inches in space as you go through this range of motion. Woo! And you can do that either with one foot or with both feet at the same time. So whatever feels best for you. Yeah, hugging that big imaginary tree. Yeah, loving the variations that I'm seeing. I'm seeing dumbbells and knees. Loving it for 4 and 3, 2. And the next time time those knees are in tabletop, pause, and then let's lower those feet down. Good. Lower the arms down, and then take a step apart with those feet and windshield wiper those knees from side to side. For 3, and 2, and 1. Come back to center. All right, guys, let's set the dumbbells to the side, and then hug the knees into the chest. Come into a crunch position. Let's kick one leg along, all 10 fingertips around the opposite knee. Pull it towards you. Exhale, and switch, and switch, and continue. Breathing, yeah, coming into super classic Pilates exercise right here. Beautiful, and continue. Yeah, looking fabulous. Breathing for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Hug both knees into the chest, guys. And then correct form for this is elbows wide, nose tucked towards the knees. I'm going to modify and create a lot more space between my body going through this range of motion. But if you'd like to, you can begin to rock forwards and backwards. This is called rolling like a ball. Yep, you guys look awesome. Taking that spine massage for 3, and 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Nice job. And then however you wish, let's come to a kneeling and then a standing position. Good. Okay, guys. So I just remembered that the class in the other room is going to come out in just a moment. So let me just switch around. By the way, this is the kitchen of Corktown Pilates. All right, guys. From here, in a standing position, let's reach up, grab onto the left wrist. Reach the arms overhead, drop those shoulders, and lean to the right. Woo. And breathe, just feel this side body stretch. For 2, and 1, come to center, and then let's grab onto the other wrist and gently lean to the left. By the way, when we do this type of a stretch, a really cool thing to imagine is that your head is a beautiful painting and your arms are the frame. And throughout the entire range of motion, you want your painting to remain in the center of the frame. And breathe for 2, and 1, and come to center. All right, guys, and then let's take that right arm, reach it forward like we're going to shake each other's hands. And then if you wish, while you're going through this range of motion, you can reach back, grab onto that left leg, and we'll start just by bringing the knees together, and then we'll press those hips forward, just feeling a really terrific stretch in that groin area. Yep, looking good. And then if you wish, guys, you can begin to reach those fingertips forward, kicking that foot into that rear hand, if that's agreeable for you today. And breathe, hollowing out that belly, reaching those fingertips super far away from you. If you're looking at something that's not moving, that will help you. For 3, and 2, woo, it feels so good. And 1, gracefully come to center and release. Nice job. And then, guys, let's reach the other arm out. And then if it works for you, reach back, grab onto that other foot. And then, guys, if you wish, you can begin to reach those fingertips forward, kick that leg back behind you. Loving the looks of determination on your faces, guys. You look amazing. And breathe. So good. Woo, for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and gracefully come back to center. Really nice job. Okay, let's swing those arms from side to side. Remember, we did this move at the beginning of class, and I said we'd do it again. I don't know about you guys, but my body feels completely different than it did at the beginning of class. Woo, for 2, and 1, and come to center. And then, guys, coming in for our final roll down, let's reach those arms overhead, drop the shoulders. Yeah, really nice. That was dramatic. And then curl those fingertips over, tuck the chin to the chest, roll down. vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get down to the bottom, nod your head. Heck yes, I feel amazing. Shake your head. No, no, no. And then, guys, softness in the knees. Head is heavy. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up. When you get to the top, oh, really nice. Bring those shoulders up, back and down, up, back and down. One more time, up, back and down, and walk into your day with your awesome posture. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. I'm super happy that we got to do Pilates together today. And I look forward to seeing you on Foam Roll Friday.